Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody has any questions? No questions? Okay. So we were talking about classification trees in the previous class, and we had talked about Gini index and cross entropy, as well as one more thing, which was classification error rate. So one thing that almost all of you will agree, those who've been attending classes, is what? Okay. Is that with trees, it is very possible that you will do one of these two things: overfit and underfit. So what do you think? Which of these two would you do? Well, I'll give you a couple of minutes. Why don't you take out a piece of paper, all of those who are present here, and write this down, okay? And I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about it and write down in your paper what which of these two would you have? Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes. So with trees, which of these two is more likely? I'll give you 1 minute to write it down in your notebooks or whatever you're using. I think 1 minute is over. Now we have the second question. Based on the answer to the first question, what do you think is the variance going to be? Okay. What do you think is going to be the variance? Is the variance going to be high or the variance is going to be low based on what your answer to question one is? Another minute to all of you. Yashvardhan, do you have an answer to question 1?
Uh, no, sir. Actually, I'm thinking.
Huh?
I need some more time.
Okay.
Sir, for question 1, overfit.
Why do you say that?
As the size of the tree increases, means number of leaves increases, the tree which will be more likely to be overfit.
Okay.
So for the question 2, it will have high variance.
Yeah, if you are the easiest thing about thinking about variance, as we previously discussed, is I think it's not that obvious in this particular case, but um if you have higher variance, then means hold on a minute. I'm thinking about something else. Let me finish that up, and then I'll get back to you in a moment. Okay. So there are 3 people today over here. Yashwardhan, your answer is good, correct in both the cases. Uh, so I have created a class quiz 1. Okay. So please submit your solutions over there. Okay, on Moodle, and only you 3 can submit. Everybody else is not allowed to submit. Okay. Is that clear, Tanya and Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir.
So I should have
Yes,
to
sir.
submit also.
No, you are not. That is why I had counted 3 people.
Okay. Sir. So my answer is same as Yashwardhan actually.
Okay. Why don't you explain? I don't think I have a good explanation for the second part.
So actually I also thought of it in the same way because as we go on trees, as we design a tree, we will try to make uh, more and more leaves add, and it will result in overfit in most of the cases.
Yeah, that's fine. What about the second part? What about the variance?
So because the model is already overfit and variance will be high in that case
Yeah,
because
usually overfit is linked to variance. Means if you have
yes,
higher means overfitting a data set, then you're going to get high variance. That
yes.
usually happens. But let us think about if we move a single node, would that influence our output
Sir,
quite significantly? Yeah,
sir, actually, I've written my answer in a very rough manner.
no
Is that
problem.
okay? Okay, sir.
There are no marks for the right answer. There are marks for the answer. That's all. Okay. Is that clear, Tanya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So let us. Anybody else? Yashwardhan, do you have a good explanation for high variance?
So prediction model prediction will
What model prediction?
so like so as we will keep on increasing the leaves, then the prediction will change according to that. It will create variance in the model depending on number of leaves.
Yeah, your model is going to
So,
change significantly. That is the point. Okay, so if your one data point changes, your model is going to change. Okay, and it happens quite in case of, let us say we talk about linear regression. Okay, if one point changes, does it make any difference? Almost always, if the number of points is quite large, it does not make any difference. Almost
Yes, sir.
always. Okay, but in this case, even if you change 1 point, your final tree will be different 99.9% of the times, as long as you have sufficient you allow for sufficient freedom. Okay, so that is why you can say that the variance is high. This is part A, and A is correct for this as well. Okay. So if anybody has a question, I'll answer that. Otherwise, we'll move on. So the goal, the reason I did not intend to take a quiz today, but anyway, the reason I mentioned this was that we need to do what if we want to get a good prediction. Okay, we want our models to be robust. What are the two things that we want to balance?
Variance and bias.
Variance and bias. So if we reduce variance, we automatically increase bias. That is a separate issue. But we let us think about how we can reduce bias. How do we reduce bias in trees? How do we do that? Before we move on to that, let us talk about one simple thing that statisticians quite often use, which is called as what? So if you have, let us say, you have these random variables xn. Okay, or let me call. Yeah, that's fine. And then, okay. And each of they are drawn from the same distribution. Okay, they are drawn from the same distribution. These random variables are drawn from the same distribution, and that distribution has so each of these has a variance of, all of them has a variance of sigma squared. Okay. Now let us say I create a new random variable x, which is x1 plus x2 xn over n, means the average value of these random variables. Okay, what is that going to give me? What is the variance of this particular variable going to be? क्या होगा? Meda, please.
Sigma
Meda,
square.
please record the names of these students, the three students who were present in the class. Okay, and we are going to. No, Tejas was not there. Please write down the name of the other three people. Okay, and please mark them, give them the marks. Okay. Only those three people will get marks. Yeah, yeah, Yashwardhan, go ahead.
N sigma square.
N sigma squared, sure?
Yes, sir. Sure.
No, it is sigma squared over n. Okay. Think about it. I think you made I think you did the calculation, but I think you made a small mistake somewhere. Think about it. Batao, Yashwardhan, any idea? How are you going to calculate these? So what can you write this as? X को हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? Can be written as x1 by n plus x2 by n plus
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
xn by n. मैं समझ गया तुमने क्या गलती करी है.
sir.
ठीक है ना? So what is the variance of this going to be? It's going to be sigma squared by n squared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
Sigma squared by n squared into n is going to give you sigma squared by n. Okay? So this is a very simple technique. So if you had access to infinite amount of data, from the same distribution, okay, so you can make many different, you could draw many different observations and average them together to reduce your variance quite significantly. Okay, but in reality, what do you have? क्या होता है हमारे पास? क्या होता है हमारे पास? ट्रेनिंग डेटा कितना होता है हमारे पास? How much training data do we have? Do we have infinite training data?
Yes, sir.
No,
Nope.
sir. We have limited.
We have limited amount of training data. So this approach is in its raw form is not possible for us to do in most cases. Okay, in most cases the amount of data is limited. So we use a technique called as bootstrapping. Okay, so let us say we have a data set which has 2 inputs and 1 output. Okay, and this is serial number. So serial number 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us say we have something like this. So we have a data set which has 4 points. Okay, and so we have correspondingly you have these values, 4 different observations. Okay, now you want to do something like bootstrapping, means something what we just did. Okay, it doesn't make much sense, but in reality it helps us. Okay, so indulge me for a moment. So what do? We create, let us say in this case we create 5 different data sets. Okay, out of these 4 data points we create 5 different data sets. The way we create those 5 different data sets is my data set 1. Data set 1 contains what? Serial number and x1, x2 and y. Similarly, data set 2 is going to contain data set 2, data set 3 and so on and so forth. Okay, so what do? I take one observation at random out of these 4. Okay, I'll take one observation at random out of these 4. So let us say the first chosen is to this. Okay, the second observation was chosen at random and it was placed at the first point. Okay, in the data set 1. Now the second time what do? I do the same thing again, and I'll not assume, I'll not have any preconception whether 2 has been chosen previously or not. Okay, again I could possibly choose, means through the random process that I'm trying to choose the different observations, I could possibly have 2 again. Okay, and then 1 and maybe 4. Okay, so at each point I am randomly choosing one of these observations. Okay, without thinking that an observation has been previously chosen. I don't care about it. Now the second data set may contain 1 and 3, 4, 2. Okay, again these are randomly chosen. So by using this, what have I done? By using this technique, I may create 5 different data sets. Okay, and what do I do with those data sets? I create 5 different models based on those data sets. Okay, and what do I finally do after doing all that? From this data set I'll have one model, from this data set I'll have one model, from the remaining 3 more data sets I'll have 3 more models. What do? My final model is going to be what? So this is going to give me model 1. Let us call that as f star 1x. Okay, this is f star 2x. This is f star 3x, f star 4x, f star 5x. Okay, so when you're creating the models, you don't worry about anything else. Okay, you don't even think about this. The only thing that you can think about during the creation of f1 star x is that this is your input and this is your output, and create a model based on that. Okay, that is all. You don't worry about anything else. So if I do that, so what do I do after that? After I have created these 5 models?
सबके results का average कर सकते हैं.
Yeah. So we'll take the average of these. So my final model is going to be the average of f1 star x, f2 star x, f3 star x, f4 star x plus f5 star x divided by 5. Okay, so this is the basis on the basic. So if you have a model that you are choosing, okay, which has high variance, the way you reduce the variance of that particular model is by creating dummy data sets from the original data set using a technique called bootstrapping. And using that technique, once you have those various models, okay, obviously more than one model you will be creating because you have more than one data sets now, and using those you will create, you will take the average of those, and that is going to reduce your variance. Okay, So we'll apply a similar technique to trees. What do we do with there? हम trees में क्या करेंगे? क्या करेंगे हम trees में? Any idea? Come on.
लेवल्स चेंज करेंगे,
हाँ?
जो लेवल होती है वो चेंज कर सकते हैं.
कौन सा level?
I think she's saying leaves में
Number of leaves.
change.
Vaishnavi, don't be scared. Please try to explain what is the exact thing that you are trying to say.
तो मतलब वही जो पहले हम डेटा पॉइंट लेते हैं उनकी ऑर्डर चेंज कर सकते हैं. जैसे मतलब डेटा सेट ही हो गया, वो तो अलग अलग डेटा सेट बन जाएंगे वैसे.
So you are saying that we'll change the order of, but that is so even if your observations are in a different order, that is not going to make your model a little model different. Okay.
रैंडमाइज हम अगर उनको चूज कर रहे हैं तो अलग अलग डेटा सेट्स बन जाएंगे फिर.
Yeah, that's what we are going to do. We are going to apply bootstrapping to trees. Okay, but in that case, there is a possibility that your one data set may contain not contain a particular observation. Okay, in this case, this data set does not contain observation number 3, and observation number 2 occurs twice. Okay, so this 2 is going to have a lot more influence in this particular model as compared to in a model like this, which has 2 only once. Okay, and 3 is also present. So we'll apply a similar technique like this, and we'll create. So in this case, what have we done here? We have created 5 different models. Okay, but in case of trees, but in case of trees, similarly in the case of trees, we'll create 5 different models. Okay, using these 5 bootstrapped data sets. Okay, what is that going to give you? That is going to give you these values. ठीक है?
So
Is
how
that all
will we
right?
so how will we decide how many models we want to create for a given tree?
Doesn't make much of a difference. Uh, in as let us think about it. Why will it not make much of a difference as long as you have large enough number of they have used, so they in the book they use a term called B. Okay, B is the number. So this particular technique is called as bagging. When we apply bootstrapping to trees, this particular technique is called as bagging. So you're putting your data set again and again into different bags. So B is the total number of bags that you have created out of your data set. If you increase the number of bags, what is going to happen? क्या होगा?
We will get
Average
less
value.
variance,
Will you increase the variance?
decrease variance.
You were saying that will decrease variance, but what is the disadvantage of having more number of bags? Is there any
Yeah,
disadvantage?
There may be any
Bias.
possibility that we can
बढ़ जाएगा.
get the same data set twice.
Yeah, that is obviously there, but any other disadvantage? Let us look at advantages first. If we increase the number of bags, what are we going to do? We are going to have more, means probably less variance. Okay, there is a possibility that you will have less variance. Obviously, please understand that this is not exact analogy of the previous thing, because in this case the data set is not completely independent of each other. These data sets are coming from the same original data set. So this is not completely analogous. The variance does not effectively go down 1/5 in this particular case. It won't, because the data set is the same, but it affects it. Okay, it reduces the variance, but not exactly in the same manner as we had talked about for the ideal case. Okay, so as you keep on increasing the number of data sets, increase the number of bags B, what happens to, does it overfit your data? Is there a possibility of overfitting your data if you increase the number of bags? Any idea? Will we overfit our data? Is that a possibility?
सर हम बोल रहे थे कि वेरिएंस कम होगा,
हाँ,
तो और ओवरफिट कैसे करेगा फिर वो?
सब बायस बढ़ सकता है,
बायस बढ़ सकता है कैसे?
वेरिएंस की वैल्यू कम हो जाएगी क्योंकि हम ज्यादा बैग्स देंगे
नहीं
तो
नहीं, अभी अभी उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मत सोचो, to forget about variance and bias. Let us think about from logically, can this cause overfitting of our data because we are increasing the number of bags?
No, sir.
Why?
So, sir, as the variance is decreasing, so definitely
No, don't talk about variance.
Okay.
Again, you're going to the same place. I'm talking from a general point of view. By increasing bags, can we, is there a possibility of overfitting the data?
सर कह सकते हैं क्योंकि ज्यादा बार वो हो रहा है, ज्यादा मॉडल्स बन रहे हैं तो उसी डेटा सेट पे ज्यादा बार मतलब हम वो कर रहे हैं, तो अगर चेंज होता है तो
पर सर हम
एक
उसमें
दिन
फिर उसका एवरेज ले ले रहे हैं ना, सब मॉडल्स हम कितने भी बना रहे हैं बट लास्ट में हम सबका एवरेज ले रहे हैं.
So, who was the person who's speaking before you, Medha? Vaishnavi?
वैष्णवी
Yeah. So, what do you, so you are saying, can you repeat your statement again?
सर मतलब ज्यादा मॉडल्स बनेंगे फिर, और अगर हम ऐसे सपोज करते हैं कि 100 पॉइंट्स है तो वही 100 पॉइंट्स पे ज़्यादा बार हम मॉडल्स लगा के रिजल्ट्स लेके आ रहे हैं, तो अगर मतलब एक भी चेंज होता है तो डिफरेंस तो एक नहीं आएगा. मतलब अगर एक बैग है तो एक उनमें से 100 सपोज 100 डेटा पॉइंट्स है और एक ही बैग है, तो अगर एक डेटा पॉइंट चेंज हो जाता है तो वो एक ही बार अफेक्ट होना है, और ज़्यादा बैग्स है तो वो बहुत बार अफेक्ट होना है.
No, but finally we are averaging all of them, no? We are dividing by the same number every time. So I think it is very hard for us to overfit, means it is not possible for us to overfit if we increase the number of bags. Because the number of, so if you think about it, is the complexity of model changing? Every time we are fitting using the same model, जब हम एक को फिट कर रहे थे तो भी सेम मॉडल यूज कर रहे थे, मतलब सिमिलर मॉडल यूज कर रहे थे. इफ वी आर हैविंग 10 डिफरेंट डेटा सेट्स देन आल्सो वी आर चूजिंग द सेम मॉडल, okay, for those 10 different points, 10 different data sets, and then so the basic characteristic of your model is not changing. ठीक है ना? Is it changing or no?
नो सर, हम एवरेज कर रहे हैं तो वो
और फिर फाइनली हम उसको एवरेज कर रहे हैं. सो यूजुअली when we talk about, let us say, polynomial number, means degree of polynomial, if you are increasing, then there was a possibility of overfitting. But in this case, even if you increase b to infinity, okay, there is means I'm pretty sure that I'm not very convincing in my arguments, but I think I'm pushing you a little bit that it's very unlikely that you're going to overfit your data, okay, because finally you're going to average it out. Okay, is that all right or no? Because let us think about, if we were to talk about a data set which has, if we choose x to the power 100, okay, if we increase our polynomial degree to the power 100, do you agree that it is going to cause an overfit?
Yes, sir.
But if I make b to be 100, it's not going to change the basic characteristic of this model, each of these models. Okay, so it's very unlikely that you're going to overfit your data because we are just finally averaging it out. Okay, so we choose a large enough value for b. Okay, we choose a large enough value for b. In the book they have given that we usually choose something like 100 or 400, something like that. Okay, it's not really that important, but why don't we choose a much larger value than that? Okay, when you draw a plot, let me show you. Hold on a minute, Medha, hold on a second. So they have given a graph for an example data set where this is, so this is b, okay, and your error rate on this side, it looks something like this. Okay, beyond a certain value they see practically no change in your error rate. So this is your error rate and this is your number of bags. Okay, in this case, for this particular example, it was around 50 that they stopped seeing any change in your error rate. Okay, if you keep on increasing B, you do not see a reduction in error rate. Okay, so obviously it depends on your data set, how many data points you have, and many other factors. But if you choose large enough B, you are not going to have a problem of overfitting. Okay, so choosing a large B is not a problem, except for the fact, why would you not choose a large B? I'll come back to you, Medha, in a moment.
It will reduce interpretability of the model.
Yeah, that is very good. Okay, if you have large B, because our original goal was to have a good interpretability. If you do this, then this is going to happen. If you do this, if your input is this, then this is going to happen. It obviously throws that interpretability out of the picture, but that is thrown out even at B is equal to 100 or B is equal to 10. Okay, it is almost gone. ठीक है ना, Yashwardhan, do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It is almost gone. By the time we reach B is equal to 10, it is gone. So beyond that, why would you not want to make it 1,000 or 1,000,000? Why would you not do that?
As the number of models also increases, so training time will also increase.
Yeah. So everything computational cost.
Yes,
Okay. We do not want our computational cost to be too high. So we want to be, ideally we would want to have this plot for every model, every data set that we have. We would want to generate something like this, but we might not have the possibility of again, to create this graph also requires a lot of computational resources, which you may not have. So you obviously make an intelligent guess what B you choose. Yeah, Medha, what are you saying?
was just saying कि complexity बढ़ जाएगी system की अगर हम B की value बहुत large लेंगे.
Yeah, computational complexity is going to be much higher. Okay, we do not want that. So what do we have? But there is one major issue with this technique. Okay, what is that major issue? Is that all of these data sets are highly correlated with each other. ठीक है ना, सारे डेटा सेट, सारे मॉडल्स जो हमने बनाए हैं वो बहुत कोरिलेटेड है. ओके, द कोरिलेशन बिटवीन दीज मॉडल्स इज क्वाइट हाई. Okay, when I wrote that previous equation, okay, about the averaging out of your means the variance gets divided by the number of points that you are, number of random variables that you are averaging out, so your variance becomes 1/nth of that value of the original variance. That was true only if what? If the random variables were what? Yashwardhan? Uncorrelated.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
but in this case the correlation is very high, so this will be much further from the average value. Okay, the actual variance is going to be much further from the average, means 1/5 in this particular case or 1/nth in a general case. It's going to be much, the gains are going to be small. Okay, if you want higher gains, you would want to make these data sets to be as uncorrelated, or these models, the F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 star, to be as uncorrelated as possible. How do you reduce the correlation? Obviously you cannot increase the data set. ठीक है, हमने इसको लिया. If you look at these, the trees that will be formed from these, what do you think those trees are going to look like? Are they going to be very similar to each other or very different from each other?
Similar.
Very, very similar to each other. Okay, most likely the first node, again, at every node we are making a decision. Okay, so at the first node it is very likely that we will use the same criterion exactly, or almost pretty similar to that. The first node will have similar criterion for all the 5 trees that we are generating. Okay, we want to get rid of that correlation. How do I do that? Any idea? How will I de-entangle these 5 different models? इनको कैसे मैं अलग करूं? I'll give you a hint. We are not going to change the way in which we generate these data sets. Okay, that data sets are fixed. ये 5 हमने data set बना लिए randomly generate करके, but that is, we are not going to change that. We are going to change the way we create our trees. How do I do that? What control do I have in which means where I can which I can apply to generation method of my tree. क्या कर सकता हूँ मैं कि मैं इनको थोड़ा सा uncorrelated करूँ. And I'll give you a hint. One more hint. One more hint is that every node had a condition. Okay, let us say x1 is less than 2. The second, let us say this tree has a condition x1 is less than 1.8 or something like that. Okay, this tree had a first condition as x1 less than 2. The second one had x1 less than 1.8. Okay, let us say that I want to get rid of. So these are pretty similar to each other. Okay, so I want to get rid of these conditions. Means the correlation between such conditions. Any idea how I can do that?
कंडीशंस में डिफरेंस लेके आ सकते हैं बहुत सारे.
हाँ, कंडीशंस में डिफरेंस कैसे लेकर आएंगे?
Scaling.
स्केलिंग नहीं, स्केलिंग से तो वहीं पे पहुंच जाएंगे. स्केलिंग मतलब स्केलिंग तो सब पे एक साथ लगेगी ना फिर. Any idea? If we could somehow force, इसमें x1 यहाँ पर था, somehow if I could force that I do not even allow x1 to be a part of my generation process at the first stage. Let us say I do that. Okay, x2 less than let us say 1. Okay, I do not even allow x1 यहाँ पे allowed ही नहीं है, यहाँ पर वो condition लगा ही नहीं सकते हम. Okay, somehow we exclude x1 from what? From the condition that is required for the generation of the tree, the split condition. Okay, I completely remove x1 from that. Then do you think will that make a difference
Yes, sir.
to the correlation of the trees?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's going to make a difference. Okay, so that is the basis of the next technique, which is called as random forests. Okay.
बट सर इसमें हमारे 5 मॉडल्स हैं और हमारे पास वेरिएबल्स 2 ही हैं, मतलब जिसमें हम कंडीशंस लगा सकते हैं, तो फिर बाकी कैसे वो हो जाएंगे?
यहाँ पर तो ऑब्वियसली इतना बढ़िया नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन बट यूजुअली वी डू नॉट हैव जस्ट 2 वेरिएबल्स. ओके, वी हैव मच मोर नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल्स. लेट मी गेट इनटू दैट इन अ मोमेंट. लेट मी इरेज दिस फर्स्ट.
सर इसमें डेटा सेट की साइज से कुछ मतलब फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा?
डेटा सेट की साइज से मतलब
हम ये अलग अलग डेटा सेट जो बना रहे हैं मॉडल में,
नहीं, वो सेम
हम
तरीके से
same
बनाएंगे.
size के बना रहे हैं.
We will apply the same process to generate the original bootstrapped data sets.
Okay.
Okay, we don't change that. Okay, because there is not much you can do there anyway. Because तुम्हारे पास 5 डेटा पॉइंट्स हैं. अब 5 डेटा पॉइंट्स को कितनी बार तुम अरेंज करोगे, मतलब डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस में कि तुम्हें वो हो जाए, मतलब तो वो उसमें कुछ ज़्यादा कर नहीं सकते हम. बट ट्री के जनरेशन के प्रोसेस में हम चेंजेस कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज फाइनली वी आर रिड्यूसिंग द कोरिलेशन बिटवीन ईच ऑफ दीज मॉडल्स. ठीक है, जो हमने ट्री बनाया इसमें जो कोरिलेशन वो था, इन दोनों को हमने बहुत सेपरेट आउट कर दिया. मीन्स वी सॉर्ट ऑफ decorrelated them as much as possible. Okay, so this is called as random forests. Okay, and there is a, so at each split we'll choose m predictors. Okay, p is the total number of predictors. Okay, at each split I'm going to choose m out of those p predictors. Okay, so if I choose all predictors, then what do I have? अगर मैं सारे के सारे predictors, if m is equal to p, okay, what am I doing? At each split only m predictors are in consideration. We don't even consider the other p minus m predictors for the split. Okay, the other p minus m predictors are not even considered. Okay, so if m was equal to p, तो हमारा क्या हो जाएगा?
सभी प्रेडिक्टर्स यूज करेंगे हर नोड
सारे प्रेडिक्टर्स यूज करेंगे जो हम पहले कर रहे थे. Okay, so we'll go back to our original bagging method. Okay, so if m is equal to p, then we are back to our bagging method. Okay, so if I choose m less than p, okay, usually the usual choice for m is square root of p. Okay, this is the normal choice for m. Okay, so what is this going to do? And these m at each node, those m are chosen what? कैसे choose करते हैं हम?
So randomly.
Randomly. Okay, those m points are chosen randomly at each node. Okay, so this is going to make almost at every node you have different predictors, so it is very unlikely that you're going to have correlation between this model and this model. Obviously your data sets are correlated still. Your original data sets were correlated, but the generated models are no longer correlated as much as they were previously. Okay, so that is going to reduce your correlation between them, and it also helps you increase the accuracy that you get from the predictions. If anybody has a question, I'll answer that. Otherwise, we'll stop for today.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, go ahead.
So sir, basically हम हर ट्री के लिए m ले रहे हैं.
क्या?
हम हर ट्री के लिए m predictors ले रहे हैं.
I can't understand. I am हर ट्री के लिए समझ में आ रहा है, उसके आगे का मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या बोल रही हो तुम. हर ट्री के लिए प्लीज रिपीट.
हर ट्री के लिए m प्रेडिक्टर्स लेंगे क्या ये पूछ रही है.
M predictors, yes.
हम्म.
M which is smaller than P. Yes, no. Let me think about it. Not only are we choosing m predictors for every tree, but we are choosing m different predictors at each node also. Yeah, that is also random. So she just wrote down her doubt that are we choosing that randomly? Yes, at each node we are choosing randomly. Okay. How at each node? What is the difficulty in choosing at a, you can choose any m at any node, and we can make a decision based on that. So please understand that how do we make trees? हम क्या करते हैं? Let us say this is my original data set. How do I make my trees? I choose my predictors, okay, and based on those predictors, what do? It is very hard. Why don't you speak, Tanya? It is very hard for me to go back again and again. So what do you do when you initially have your data set? Based on the predictors, what do? You divide your data set?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sorry sir, मेरा नेट बहुत खराब चल रहा है. For every tree we choose m predictors randomly.
Yeah.
And then for every node, we are choosing one of those m randomly again. This is
Nope. No.
Then
So now please understand that you can think of creation of a tree as a recursive process. Okay, मेरा ये पूरा data set है. Okay, it has p predictors. Okay, out of those p, right now at this point I am choosing m out of those p predictors. Okay, and only those will be considered for doing a division of this tree into two parts. ठीक है ना? Only those m will be considered. ठीक है? Is that okay, Tanya?
yes sir.
ठीक है, अब हमने उन m के बेसिस पर एक उनमें से एक कोई प्रेडिक्टर आएगा जिसको हम चूज करेंगे. ओके, दैट प्रेडिक्टर वन ऑफ दोज m प्रेडिक्टर्स इज गोइंग टू बी द चॉइस फॉर डिवीजन. ठीक है, इज दैट ओके?
Yes sir.
ठीक है, एक की बेसिस पर डिवाइड करते हैं ना. अब हमारे कितने डेटा सेट्स हो गए? थिंक अबाउट इट. नाउ यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इट एज नाउ 2 डेटा सेट्स. ठीक है, तुम्हारे पास 2 डेटा सेट्स हो गए. अब यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इट दैट वे.
Yes,
ठीक है, नाउ what do? You apply the same thing over here. You have how many predictors here? You have p predictors. ठीक है ना, p predictors हैं, and you are going to choose what?
M randomly.
M randomly again. Okay, so please understand that this M does not have to be the same as this M, which was used to divide the data originally. Okay, so it makes it completely random. Okay, so the possibility of correlation between tree 1 and tree 2 becomes almost negligible. Okay.
So sir, हम एक ही tree में बार-बार random M's ले रहे हैं.
Yes.
Gen-
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
The M is constant. The number of predictors is constant, but the predictors which are chosen at each stage are different.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
May not be different also if by random chance they come out to be the same. Okay, so they need not be different, but there is a high likelihood that they are going to be different. Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, then we'll stop. See you on Monday. Bye bye.